Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit. You're live at the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. And today is no exception. We're still in the month of May, a lot going on, and we have an exciting show for you today. Man, so much is going on. I tell you what, later in the show. Now, if you have a website, I know sometimes people think website is part of a bygone era. Don't believe that 1 second. If you have a website, we're going to talk about later in this show how to get traffic to that website. We're going to talk about some of the things you can do to make Google happy. And so that's our theme on our marketing sermon today, coming up in the last part of the show. I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. I help people in the business space. Man, I've been busy as a beaver. I've been traveling, I've been networking, I've been singing, I've been hooping, speaking, hollering. I've been a busy camper. I was down in North Carolina this past weekend. I was at we had the authors, Evening with the Authors, sponsored by the nonprofit Holla. Some phenomenal authors. Had 18 authors. Some were virtual, some were in the building. I was the MC, master of ceremony. You can go to, matter of fact, you can go to marketingpulpit.com, and you can also go to our YouTube channel. You can check that out. Matter of fact, it's on YouTube. We haven't put it on Marketing Pulpit yet. Go to YouTube, and you'll see the Evening with the Authors at Holla. Great organization of Holla, and those great authors, Parita Adams, was great assistant, Miss Pettiford, and of course, Leon Gate was the founder. Thank you guys for putting those authors out there. Now, you also, if you have a business, or if you're an author, you go to mpi.bz and get that book, get your book in our business directory, which we promote every Friday on this show. This is advertising that, I mean, you can pay for it, but we have a lot of free options where you can get your book, and we announce it on the air. That's right. Robert Gatewood would announce your book on his show that's blast all over the world. We're on Radio 1, 95.9 FM in the Washington, D.C. area, 1450 AM. And of course, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and of course, we're on Facebook Live. So thank you for tuning in today. And like I said, we're going to talk about getting that website traffic going. Also, I'm a adjunct professor, and I also work with Employ Prince George's over at the National Harbor. I was out there last night talking about networking and the power of networking. Boy, let me tell you something. I found a secret sauce to success in the name of networking. If you're not doing it, you need to find out how it works and get out there and start networking. The reason many people don't do it, they don't understand what it's all about. They think people out there just having a good time and eating and drinking and carrying on. There may be some of that, but it's actually a very structured and very positive, powerful, and effective way to grow your business. I'm going to say my business I would probably attribute about 65% of it to networking. I was the president of BNI Networking International in the Prince George's County, Largo area for a couple of years. Man, next thing I knew, I was on government contracts flying across the country and all kind of reasons. Met a lot of attorneys that became clients, a lot of CPAs, a lot of therapists that became clients of mine. And that was a really pivotal reason that my company became the successful company that it has become today. And it still goes on. I can't walk into a room without somebody handing me a card or asking for a card. But the key to networking, ladies and gentlemen, remember this. It's not about what somebody can do for you. The key to networking is what can I do to help you? Remember that. It's not selling. It's about relationship building. Did that last night. I'll be also at the Employ Prince George's next week talking about business marketing. And you can also go to a Marketing Pulpit and find all of the places where I'm going to be speaking over the next few months, all the way up to November. I'm going to be busy, but that's okay. That's what I do. That's my purpose. my raison d'etre, my reason for being, as the French say. CCL Mission, the radio marketing pulpit. AJ Sweet, Robert Gatewood, both your hosts. I want to say hello to some folks. Brother Brown, greatest plumber in town. Thank you for tuning in this morning. I see Attorney Bradley Thomas, who's also one of our sponsors. And Brother Thomas is so into this marketing pulpit and helping us out and helping the community. He says that anybody who signs up for his, how does this work? Who signs up for the marketing pulpit, he's going to give you 20% off of his services. Now, that's a brother for you. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that great offer. I see our brother William Maxwell from Idea Gear and WM Graphics. Thank all you guys for tuning in and making this show and my company the success that it has been. A lot of things have been happening in the news. We want to talk about some of those items. Matter of fact, and like I said, go to the business directory and check out the new people who signed up. I see Exodus Financial Services. That's Miss Grace Chopra out of the Largo area. And if you have problems managing money, navigating those real estate deals and getting out of debt, then you want to talk to her. A great young lady. I've known her a few years and she joined the directory and glad to have her on board. Also see Brother Nathaniel Jordan, the Minister of Wellness. Man, he said, you don't need all these pills and things. Get some of these holistic approaches. Eat right, exercise. And he's going to show you how to do it. So check him out. Also, our primary sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. They have their 3 locations in the DC area, Largo, National Harbor, and College Park. And if you're a government contractor, you want to get in their College Park location, where they're also a hub zone. So we provide solutions. We're not just the people set up here waving shiny objects in front of you. We provide solutions, and we have had so much success with the companies that have taken our advice. I'm telling you, and it's not just me. It's been our guests. It's been people in the chat. It's been some information we're talking about in the news. And so just jump on board. You can't do this alone. I'm telling you that right now. If you think you can do this by yourself, you're fooling yourself. So thank you again, everybody who's been hanging in there. And we love you. We love you. Let's talk about some of the news. We had a couple of sad stories here. We had a couple of losses since the last time we met. Brother Jim Brown, James Nathaniel Brown, who was born in 1936. And one thing about this show, we've become like a marker of some of the great people that have passed. And you can go back and listen to the shows, and it's like little markers that tell us how we've traversed over the years, and we've grown and seen people leave us. And today is no exception. We have bow our heads for the family of the great James Nathaniel Brown, Jim Brown, one of the greatest football players of all time. He was his litany of success is just beyond, but he was also not just a football player. He was an actor. He was also into politics. He was an activist. Many people don't remember that he was one of the people who was supporting Muhammad Ali when he was going through his troubles for dodging the draft, as they called it. And so he was one of the people that stood up, put his reputation on the line to support Brother Ali. He got into a little hot water back in October of 2018 when he came out. He met with Donald Trump. He didn't necessarily say I supported him, but anytime you meet with Trump or people who are very divisive, you kind of give them legitimacy. So he got a lot of heat behind that. But I listened to a couple of interviews of his, and it seems like he's just the person who does what he's going to do. He doesn't want to be labeled Republican, Democrat, progressive. He has an agenda. He likes to help folks. And so we're going to miss him. Yeah, man. As a community, we can't be so quick to dismiss people sometimes because they talk to other people. What we have to do is find out where their heart is and try to guide them and let them know that sometimes their actions, even though have good intentions, can have bad consequences. We also lost, we've been losing all kind of people here. What's going on here? Let's see. We lost Brother Brown. So he'll be missed. Brother Jim Brown. Let's see. He passed on, let's see what date he passed. May 18th, 2023. He was born February 17th, 1936, and he will be missed. We also lost another icon, and this has been a tough week. We lost Sister Tina Turner. She was born Anna Mae Bullock, born 1939. She and Jim Brown were around the same age, about 3 years apart. She was an American-born Swiss singer. She was also known as the Queen of Rock and Roll. and she was with Ike and Tina Turner before launching her own solo career. She started with Ike in 1957 under the name Little Ann, and she appeared on her first record, Box Top. Of course, she was most known for Proud Mary, which when she was with Ike, and then she launched her own career back in the 1980s and became one of the greatest comebacks in history. And at the age of 44, was the oldest female solo artist to hit the top 100s. So she passed away on May 24th, and we're going to dedicate this show to these two icons, James Nathaniel Brown, also known as Jim Brown, and Anna Mae Bullock. We know her by her stage name, Tina Turner. They will be missed. What I'm going to do in a second, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about a couple of other items in the news, but don't forget to tune in. You want to stick around for this marketing sermon we have today. We're going to talk about web traffic. We're going to talk about, matter of fact, specifically, we're going to talk about link building those links, and what it's all about, and how you can use it to drive traffic to your website and to help grow your business. So hang on a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. So don't go away. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every We are back. We're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. I meant to tell you also, next week I'm going to be presenting at the BLE First Friday networking event. That's an event we have the first Friday of every month. And I'm going to be talking about digital marketing. Come on out if you are a business owner, if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, or if you like to drive, come on, wherever you are. It's going to be worth it. Miss Bernadette Clay and Company. Miss Bernadette Clay, of course, is sponsoring the event, her organization, BLE Executive Suites, along with the Marketing Pulpit. And we are going to be there next Friday at June 2nd. Come on out, go to marketingpulpit.com and register. It's a free event. And the last one I went to, I met people. Matter of fact, some we're working with now. I'm also looking for stakeholders, looking at people to kind of farm out some of this work too that I'm getting. So come on out and benefit and take advantage of these opportunities that exist in our community. As an old saying, instead of cursing the darkness, let's light a candle. And we're lighting candles over here at BLE and the Marketing Pulpit. Let's go a couple of other quick items in the news, and then we're going to jump into our sermon for today. One thing that was there's one story here we want to talk about, and that is, we already talked about that. President Biden, we have this debt ceiling coming up, and that's a lot of people talking about that. We're talking about the possibility there may be a default, and the credit rating. We have this AAA credit rating right now for the country, and they've already been warned that if you don't work this thing out, then it's possible that the country could be downgraded with their credit. Now that would have all kind of ramifications. So President Biden and Kevin McCarthy, they're trying to work it out. And I hope they do, because we don't need any more problems with all the things that are going on right now. But President Biden said there will be no default. His words exactly. Let's see what else is going on in the news. Now, this next story is very interesting. Elon Musk, he's a controversial figure, but what he's controversial about this time has nothing to do with politics. His brain implant company has been given the okay to proceed with their trials, and it's the FDA, yes, where you can plant something in your brain. Wow, this is really it surgically into your brain with a computer that can potentially treat conditions such as paralysis, blindness, and so forth. In the past, it had been experimented with on animals, but the FDA has just given Elon Musk company, it's called Neuralink. So this technology, ladies and gentlemen, boy, let me tell you, keep up with it. It can help you and it can hurt you. Now, it seems like this one might be to help us, at least in the short run. So this is called Neuralink. It's been cleared for human trials. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what else we have in the news. Retirement outlooks has 11-year low. People are not feeling really good right now about retirement. As a matter of fact, 43% of non-retired people don't feel they'll have enough money to sustain them if they stop working right now. Well, I tell you, this is what I'm going to say to that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't wait until you're 62 or 65 or 70 to start worrying about this thing. Many of you right now, and I'm not picking on anybody because I was there as myself, are spending a lot of money on things right now that's going to come back to bite you. These expensive cars, taking all these trips. I mean, whatever you're doing, think about, don't just live in the now. I know people like to think like that. Well, I may not. Well, you want to think about leaving something behind, get your insurance and all this kind of stuff, but start thinking ahead. And every time I read these stories about people retiring and people are nervous, I'm saying don't wait until the clock runs out. Start now. Pay off your car. Or if you're driving a car, get a car that you can afford that allows you to put some money aside. Start investing your money, putting in these online. There's a lot of banks out here that have 4.5% interest on their savings. There's other ways to spend this money so that when you get into your retirement years, you have some type of passive income and you won't be affected so negatively by these kind of stories that we keep reading about every week. So let's talk about, that's our news items for today. Let's talk about what's going on our marketing sermon for today. We're talking about driving traffic to your website. Now, if you have a website and you're proud of it and you want to sell product and services, then you'd have to drive traffic to that website. Makes sense to me. Now, there's a lot of ways you can get traffic to your website. A lot of them cost a lot of money. You can pay some guy, a lot of SEO guy to go in there, or woman to pick up your site and SEO optimize it. You can drive traffic from online digital marketing, such as Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all kinds of ways, PPC advertising. But there's also a way, some things that you can have a little bit more control over. And we're going to talk about today. It's called link building. Whether you know it or not, when people link from their site to yours, that's actually helps your traffic to your website. And it makes Google happy. If you're going to be doing anything on the web trying to get people to your website, you have to take Googling into consideration. So the link building is what we're talking about today. Getting links to your website and what the benefits are. Okay, now link building really gained popularity back in the 1998, but it's still very vital today. So the reason you want to get links to your site, one, because links are the primary way of navigating the internet. Put your mouse over it, sometimes it lit up, sometimes you got lines on it, but links drive traffic to your website. Also, Google search is based around links. The more links you have from relevant websites, the better you're going to rank on Google. Google uses search and linking as a core ranking tool. That decides who gets the upper billing, okay? And search is responsible for most of the internet's traffic. People coming to your website are coming because usually they searched on something. And links help that, okay? Search is the primary source of traffic for most websites. It's not your family. It's not your friends. It's not the ad you put out there on. It's you to search. An entire industry revolves around search and SEO. And link building is a big part of that. Okay. So what Link does, it helps your SEO efforts and it improves your search engine rankings. It generates referral traffic. It establishes authority and it builds relationships by putting your information on other relevant websites. Okay. Now, the bottom line to this is that if you're going to be a savvy marketer and driving traffic to your website, you have to get on search. And the big part of that is through links. Okay. So what you want to do is convince other websites to link back to your website. Those back links help you with Google. Now, some of you, like I said, if you're not a webmaster, but you do have a website, you may want to discuss this with your webmaster and say, how can I get more website search traffic to my website? I'm going to give you a quick tip today. In case this over your head, here's a quick and easy way to do it. Get on the Marketing Pulpit Business Directory. That counts as a backlink because when you put your business on the MPI.BZ, you have put your link on a reputable, verified, quality website, and that's going to help your search. Not to mention the other benefits that come along with being on this directory. But many have not realized that this is one benefit you may not have been aware of, is that besides people going there, finding you and sending you leads from the directory and linking with other companies and being able to have your documents there and putting your events there and putting your products there, it also helps make Google happy with the backlinks. So, moral of this story, you want to get your website on other websites to link back to yours. I'm giving you one way today that's absolutely free. Go to mpi.bz, add your name to this directory, and not only do you get the benefit and the blessings of Google, next week when I see your name, I'm going to read you over these airways. And you're going to make Google happy, drive traffic to your website, and start building a successful website so that people can visit you, buy your products, find out more about your books, and so forth. So that's our marketing tip for today. That's what we're going to do. We're coming up, I want to talk again about what's coming up on June 6th. BLE Executive Suites is having their first Friday networking event. What I want you to do is go to blesuites.com. They have a button called events. You can also go to marketingpulpit.com and you'll see a banner. Click on that and go to register for the BLE First Friday networking event where I will be presenting. I'm going to be presenting on digital marketing. We're going to talk about some of the popular types of digital marketing. We're going to talk about setting goals for your ads. We're going to talk about quite a few things, but you got to go and register. It's in Largo, Maryland at 9701 Apollo Drive, and I will be there. Also, go to join the directory, mpi.bz. If you're tuning in online, you can see the address at the bottom of the screen. And I want to thank everybody who's tuning in on Radio 1, 95.9 FM. Miss Kathy Hughes and company over there, glad to be affiliated with them. Great organization. And so you can also download their app and make sure when you're not online, you can actually listen to them around the world by using the WOL app. The other thing I want you to realize today is that we're talking about honoring Jim Brown, who passed away, and Tina Turner, and we're dedicating this show to them. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We're going to be coming back next week with another show. Also, we're going to talk about next week, we're going to talk about mission creep. Now, if you ever have been if you're a designer or service provider, and you start out, the client asked for one thing, and then before the project was over, you had like 10 other things on the plate, but nobody talked about more money. That's called mission creep. So you want to tune in next week. We're going to talk about mission creep and how to deal with it to make sure you keep those customers happy, but you also keep the cash registers ringing so that when they agreed to pay for, they're going to get that. If they need more, they're going to talk about how to deal with that too. Let's see, what else we're going to do? So also go to Marketing Pulpit to find out more about the company, about who I am, look at the past shows. Also, when you go to YouTube, we have a very exhaustive and very comprehensive categorization of the past shows. Go there. If you can type in a search, look for a particular topic. If you want to find out about search engines, you want to find out about websites, branding, whatever the topic, go to YouTube and type in the topic, and go ahead also and sign and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, I think that's going to do it for today. I'd like to also thank everybody who's tuning in. Brother Brown, thank you again. Brother Thomas, William, thank you. And thank you to everybody. We'll be back next week with an exciting show right here on the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And don't forget to go to the events and check out where I'll be speaking and teaching and sign up for these courses. We bring information here, but we get into the details through these courses, through the Prince George's Community College, Employ Prince George's, the Women Business Center, and the BLE Executive Suite. So that's going to wrap it up for today, folks. And if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. You have to do the right thing, you have to do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work. Social media, I'm pretty much grouped most of us in three groups. There's the social, these people that are all in. They're in it, they're building businesses, they're building their base, building relationships through social media. They see it as a tool that's really beneficial to them, and they're invested in it. That's the social side of social media. Then we have the unsocial, people that are passive observers. They like it. They'll post every now and then, but they really kind of, it's like entertainment to them. They go in there and watch what people are doing, and they'll share something every now and then. They're not really all in. They're kind of unsocial on social media. Then we have the third group, which is really a little disturbing. That's called the antisocial. These people are rude, mean, belittling, and they're downright dangerous. So we have to, for one, as a society, understand that there are all these different groups out here. It's not a cookie cutter, and not everybody on social media is the same. There's the saying that if you build a better mousetrap, the world will be the path to your door. Now, that's a notion that has been around for a while. And what that portends is that if you're providing innovative, top-notch services and products, that the public will reward you. They will literally be the path to your door. I mean, how can you argue with that? Except it's not just good enough now to have a superior product. Yes, I want you to continue to put out a good product, but what I'm going to ask you to do today is to spend some of that energy, besides putting out a good product, you have to put some energy on getting the world to beat that path to your door. No matter how good your product is, if people don't know about it, they're not coming to your door, and it's certainly not beating the path. Man, you got to serve at all times. Let me tell you something, folks. You can't go wrong by serving. Just serve. Do something for somebody. Do something for yourself. Just serve. You don't need, like, what they're saying, you don't need a degree to serve. You don't need your verbs and your nouns to conjugate. You just serve. Get out there and do something. Many people out here, they're kind of lost and wondering what to do with themselves. They're suffering from hard times. Their business might be doing badly. Their personal lives may be in shambles. But one thing about it, you can't go wrong by serving. No matter how bad you think things are for you, somebody else is doing worse. So what do? Stop feeling sorry for yourself and get out there and do something. Serve. Help somebody. Do something for somebody else. Take that emphasis off yourself and put it on others by serving. Welcome again. When you have a conflict going on, if you want to shut that person up, I'm telling you, sit there and listen. Let them talk themselves out. And somehow, I've said this many times, some of the greatest problems in the world have been solved through listening. Listening also does this. It shows respect. When you sit there and listen to a person and sit there and give them the time and the due, it is a sign of respect. It lets them know that their thoughts and feelings are important. If you're listening, but if you're sitting there yapping when they're trying to talk to you, that can actually come across as very disrespectful. Okay?